Tell Stephen he can't cry. He can't cry.
You know how you handle an actor? They whine about anything. You pull down their pants and you spank their ass.
You spank that ass.
Oh yes, and just like me, I'm sure you all want this to happen as well, because the new rumour doing the rounds from none other than, again, Christopher McQuarrie, is that Tom Cruise, very much so, is planning to once again don the makeup for Les Grossman. Yep, Tom Cruise still wants to do a Les Grossman movie, and my God, let it happen. And not just let it happen, but you need to just open up and go balls to the wall and just let loose. Don't hold back. So let's have a look at the article that actually breaks this down on what Christopher McQuarrie actually says about this. And then we'll talk a little bit about this character and just like the absolute insaneness that it was back in 2008 when he popped up on screen in Tropic Thunder. So it's saying Christopher McQuarrie and Tom Cruise have already built a strong partnership over the last decade with Jack Reacher and 4 Mission Impossible films. I forgot Christopher McQuarrie did the Jack Reacher movie. I think he only did the first one though, didn't he? So it says anyway, the pair are already eyeing up 2 more movies together, but McQuarrie recently revealed that a 3rd film could be happening, and it could be bringing back one of Tom Cruise's most iconic characters. We're not talking about the return of Ethan Hunt in Mission Impossible 9 or Maverick in the 3rd Top Gun. McQuarrie and Cruise want to work on a sequel/spin-off to Tropic Thunder, meaning the return of Les Grossman. Christopher McQuarrie recently appeared on the Happy Sad Confused podcast to promote Mission Impossible The Final Reckoning, and he was asked about the upcoming projects with Tom Cruise. The conversations we've had about Les Grossman are so effing funny, McQuarrie said when asked which of his upcoming movies with Cruise are the top priority. The host, Josh Horowitz, then had to double check that the project is actually happening. McQuarrie didn't reveal if Les Grossman's return, in whatever form it comes in, is actually in the works, or if it is only at the conversational stage, saying, "We're having very serious conversations about it and how best to do it, and it ultimately comes down to what that character is." So, no sequel or spin-off to Tropic Thunder has been officially announced yet, so it is unclear where the character could appear next. Josh Horowitz then asked if Les Grossman would be the main character, as he was only a small supporting part in Tropic Thunder. McQuarrie said, "You've hit the nail right on the head." And then he continued saying, "A leading man, Tom Cruise will tell you, has different responsibilities. Everyone asks, why doesn't he do more? Steel Magnolias. You are a supporting character in that movie. You are allowed to say the things that he says, because he's not the protagonist. He doesn't have the same responsibility. That's the line we're always walking. The difference between a leading man and a supporting man. A character role versus a more traditional matinee protagonist." So they're seemingly having this big conversation, at least behind closed doors, about bringing this character back. And again, please let it happen. Oh, for the love of God, please let it happen, and let it be a hard R-rated movie as well. Like, have you ever actually seen Tom Cruise discuss where he even got the inspiration for just the look of Les Grossman? Because he said it with Conan O'Brien, and in fact, you may as well have a look at the clip, because even just hearing where the idea comes from is hilarious. Have a look at this.
What I'll find a character to put that with. So Ben, he's a good buddy of mine, Ben Stiller, he called me up, and I said, "Look, I'd love to play this character, but I want to have fat hands and I'm going to dance." I said, "I want fat hands."
Absurd request.
I know. I said, "Look, I don't know what to say." Like, sometimes with a character, you just get an instinct on what you want to do. And I just know I really want fat hands. I'm going to dance. And Ben, who's like, he just looks at me like, he's just like right out of the movies, you know, where he's, you know, you see that look, that
he
Ben
has that,
look.
that Ben Stiller.
That Ben look, we're like, oh, okay, like I don't know what's happening here.
Yeah.
What's happening? So I remember about a couple of months, he kept saying, you know, maybe we don't do the makeup, and maybe you just look at yourself. I said, no, Ben, I said, I need fat hands. And I'm gonna dance. And so he created the makeup, and we did the makeup test. And I just started showing him. We just, you know, as you're working on a character, you start becoming that character, you start discovering the character. And I just started moving, you know?
Yeah.
And there was no music. He was just looking at me like, what's happening? And I just, you know, and I was doing kind of, I was crushing, you know, Pepsi cans and Coke cans. And then he calls me the next day, and he cut it to that piece of music, to that piece of music that you see in the movie. He goes, I get it. This is hilarious.
Yeah, so Tom Cruise's pitch basically was, yeah, I need to have fat hands and I'm going to dance. Like, just the idea that this thing just popped into his head was, I'm going to have fat hands and dance. And of course, Les Grossman, we all know the classic lines that come from him. Some of the funniest. I remember sitting in the cinema watching that movie, and as soon as he popped up on screen, I remember sitting there going, there's no way that's Tom Cruise, is it? And then just the absolute insanity that fell upon us in that cinema was like, oh my God. And the funny thing is, my mother, she didn't hate Tom Cruise. She didn't particularly like him. She enjoyed some of his movies, but not all. Number one, she didn't even recognize that it was Tom Cruise. And number two, she couldn't stop laughing at that scene just when he goes off. And it was just like, oh my God. And then once the movie ended, you're like, I can't believe Tom Cruise did that. And she was like, wait, which one was Tom Cruise? And we're like, Les Grossman? Like, that was Tom Cruise? That whole, by the way, bad movie to go with your parents to see. You know, with the opening scene. That thing opens up with that song of I Love the Pussy. You're like, oh, Jesus Christ. Either way, though, the movie was hilarious. But my God, does Les Grossman stand out. Like his whole conversation with Flaming Dragon, which will be at the end of this video. I was going to put it at the start, and then I thought, no, YouTube won't like the swearing at the very beginning. So it's going to be there, people. Don't worry. But just all the things, like when Nick Nolte's talking, he's like, who the hell is this? And they're like, oh, this is Ting. The guy who's actually the book is based on. He goes, oh, you're a great American. Now shut the fuck up and let me do it. Just all that stuff. And that is what you need. If you do this movie and you want to do it right, you can't go all PC with it. You got to just unleash it to its full potential. Just take the ever-loving piss out of everybody and everything. You name it. Straight people, white people, black people, Asian people, gay people, trans people, you name it. Just go after them all. Just that character that showed up on screen for a few minutes here and there in Tropic Thunder in 2008 needs to be dropped into whatever year we could expect to see him, whether it's 2027, 2028, whenever. That guy needs to be the exact same guy that we met in 2008. No holds bars. Because you do that, my God, are you onto a gold mine. And of course, if it's a movie completely based around Les Grossman, you can then, of course, start bringing in cameos. Bring back Matthew McConaughey as the agent. Bring in Ben Stiller here and there. Have them as the supporting characters. And then, of course, what could it do? Well, obviously, it could open the door to an actual official Tropic Thunder 2. Time will tell. But my God, please, we've all been begging for this for so long. Let this movie happen. Let the return of Les Grossman happen. And with that, again, this clip will be at the end. I shall leave it there for this one. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.
This is Les Grossman. Who is this?
This is Flaming Dragon!
Oh, okay. Flaming Dragon. Fuckface. First, take a big step back and literally fuck your own face! Now, I don't know what kind of pan-Pacific bullshit power play you're trying to pull here, but Asia Jack is my territory. So whatever you're thinking, you better think again. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to head down there, and I will rain down on a godly fucking firestorm upon you. You're gonna have to call the fucking United Nations and get a fucking binding resolution to keep me from fucking destroying you. I am talking scorched earth, motherfucker. I will massacre you. I will fuck you up!